everyone, how's it going? So I just saw this on, Nick Fuentes just tweeted this out, okay? Josh Hammer called me and Tucker Carlson to be neutralized after our interview. Will the FBI investigate that comment? Hammer is a Jewish extremist who believes white people are born with anti-Semitism in their DNA. Well, it sounds a lot like Fuentes, to be honest. What else does Fuentes, like, Fuentes has openly said, genuinely, that, you know, people with a certain type of DNA are low IQ. I mean, come on, dude. This is literally the pot calling the kettle black here. But however, I think they're all gross. I think Josh Hammer probably sucks. He sounds like a absolute supremist, like a supreme. Sounds like a Jewish supreme to me. Nick Fuentes is a white supreme. And then Candace Owens, I don't even know what to call that level of crazy, to be honest, because she's just burning bridges everywhere. So, you know, the only one I think in this entire situation that's probably decent at all seems to be Tucker Carlson. Like, this is getting completely and totally out of control. It's funny because here I am, I'm going to talk some major crap on Josh Hammer here. And Jewish supremacy in general, I think, is absolutely stupid. And yet, apparently, I'm gonna get a nice $7,000 check from Israel today. I should have uploaded that video. I have a video of making fun of like all the people accusing me of getting $7,000 checks as well as the quartering. The quartering I could somewhat understand, right? Dude's a really big YouTube channel. I have 15,000 subscribers, and they think that I'm getting $7,000 monthly checks from Israel. Man, that's wild. That'd be great. That would change my life. Give me that money, guys. I'll take it. I'm not gonna do what they ask, but I'll take the money. Anyway, he has this anti-white filth needs to be held accountable. Yeah, sure, dude. And just like you, who's absolutely anti, other races who have openly admitted it. I've covered on this channel many times Nick Fuentes genuinely saying that certain people of a certain race are very low IQ, and just that's just the way it is because of DNA. So why is he wrong, right? The truth is, you're both wrong. Anyway, Jew hatred is inherent in the European DNA. Now, playing a little bit of devil's advocate here. European DNA, I don't necessarily think means white, because he could have said white DNA, right? Because all white people that are in the United States came from Europe. Notice how he didn't mention anything about the United States. It kind of leaves the United States out, and I think that was done for a reason. I think he's trying to say that Jew hatred, as well as, right now, white hatred, is baked into the DNA of what is Europe as a country. I could agree with that. Now, I don't know if that's what Josh Hammer meant at all. I have no clue. But I could understand if that's what he meant. Makes sense. You guys would agree with me, too. I think Europe is an absolute just piece of garbage second world entire second world country right now at the moment. They seem to hate white people, and they're importing all these freaking Muslims. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable to me. So I could understand if that's what he meant. However, it's down here, he says, Europe will never change. Jew hatred is inherent in its collective DNA. It's weird to say DNA, okay? It's weird to say, but again, speaking about Europe, not speaking about white people as a whole, white people in America, I don't know if that's what he meant at all, but this one, right here, down here, let's get this. I am Jewish, proudly. I advocate every single day of my life for the Jewish people and for the Jewish state of Israel. Okay. Well, don't accuse this guy of being America first, because he's clearly not. I wouldn't accuse this guy of being America first. In fact, he probably needs to go move back to Israel and advocate for them there, instead of advocating for them in the United States, because it's kind of garbage to advocate for any other country in the United States when our country is falling short of number one rapidly. It's not good. Until we get back to our very secure, very much better position in the world, the way we should, and have our people, our homeless, everybody taken care of, then we can worry about Israel. Then we can worry about Palestine. As a matter of fact, those would be down at the bottom for me. I would actually much rather talk about Balochistan, one of the number one genocides going on in the world. Making sure that the Rwanda genocide thing that's been going on for decades now, that Trump supposedly ended. I don't know if he just signed away a deal and it ended it. I don't think conditions are great there. The invisible children, way bigger of a genocide than anything that's ever gone on in Israel and Palestine. I just don't care about literally, let's go ahead and say 1,000,000% Palestine's a genocide, okay? It's on such a lower end of like, there's 5 other genocides going on in the world right now that are so much worse than that. Now, I'm not saying that they all don't need to be ended. I'm just saying the United States needs to focus on us first. Secure our own oxygen mask before we go and secure others, because we're drowning. And every American feels it. At least the right wing understands it. The left does not, which is not surprising. Unless you're Candace Owens, then apparently then it is the #1 issue. I don't know. But anyway, let's get to... and I asked him, I said, can you show us where he said neutralized? That sounds about as likely as Candace Owens making the claim without showing any proof. Please don't be like that, you know? And somebody replied, I wonder if you can't be this dumb. He wrote it in an article in the Daily Mail yesterday. Okay. I found it, but why did he not include it in this picture? Do you understand English very well? Read my comment. Pretty easy to understand. I said, can you show us? You just can't be this dumb. It's in this very niche thing. Yeah, I had to do a lot of digging before I found this video. I spent 30 minutes on this. When he uploaded this, it was only 10 minutes. So I guess it's a little less than 30 minutes, but close enough. 30 minutes. Trying to figure out where this freaking comment was. Then I went to Josh Hammer's and he said, oh, one has to be truly stupid or willfully disingenuous, or both, as the case may be, to think that neutralized means anything other than most common usages. I have a criticism for that. It's very simple. Does 86 mean, just, you know, 86ing? You know what I mean? What was it used for? It was originally used for as a gambling term, wasn't it? Then it became, I'm going to end that person. Right? But now this person would literally be defending, is it Comey? James Comey. He would be literally defending James Comey right now. I'd like you to openly do that, Josh Hammer. Go ahead, openly defend James Comey on 86-47. Go ahead. I would love to hear that. Yeah, you won't do it, will you? So maybe don't play stupid about it. However, here's the thing, okay? Josh Hammer calls for Tucker Carlson to be neutralized on Monday evening. He didn't exactly. It's not exactly something like these guys need to be neutralized. It's just, he is talking about ideology here. It is a little bit more simple than that. Now, while I think he needs to be a lot more careful in his language, and the infighting absolutely needs to stop for the most part. Candace is flaring this open. Fuentes is, and Josh Hammer. These 3 idiots are absolutely not focusing on America first, as much as all these freaking morons think America first is the most important thing. They come out and say that, and then they're not focused on it at all. I get tired of that. As far as I'm concerned, Nick Fuentes is a Fed. Okay? I have no doubt. He's the only other person on January 6th calling for people to enter the Capitol and take over, just like Ray Epps. Isn't that freaking weird? Just a little weird. I don't know. Candace Owens absolutely is off her rocker. And then Josh Hammer here is stirring the pot with his whole Israel first garbage. I don't care for any of it. Period. Now, anyway, one man who is decidedly not along for this hellish jaunt was someone Carlson now has the audacity to purport and represent and memorialize. My late friend, noted Christian Zionist, Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was not a Zionist, though. He was pro-Israel, but he was not a Zionist. He openly said he wasn't a Zionist. So I don't know if I buy that. Perhaps no one in America despised Nick Fuentes more than Kirk. Well, I don't know about that. If that was the case, I think he would be a lot more open about it, but okay. Fuentes tormented Kirk and his now widow Erica for years for years on end over the fact that Kirk would not allow Fuentes to attend Kirk's Turning Point USA conferences. Well, yeah, I wouldn't let Fuentes join either, to be honest. After saying, literally, well, he would come up there at the debate table and be like, well, you know, you're part of that bad DNA with only about 80 IQ. Right there on the table, and Charlie Kirk would have to shut that down because it's just bad information. Anyway, So he's talking about that stuff here. So he said, if this looks like a war on MAGA and the modern right, that's because that is exactly what it is. Carlson and his clan have declared their jihad not on the woke forces of civilization arson on the addled brain left, but the forces of civilization sanity on the MAGA right, and they kind of have been. Candace has said that she's completely dropped Trump. Doesn't have faith in him anymore. It's really weird because she once shared sentiments like that in 2016 when she was passing her extreme left Degree 180 program called Social Autopsy. She did a TED Talk over it about how she could dox kids that are cyberbullying people. It's really weird. Huh. Once a leftist, always a leftist, I guess. If Tucker Carlson is moving, then it just shows that he was always a corporatist. He was Fox News first. I don't know if he is or isn't. I haven't had my eye on Tucker Carlson nearly as much as Fuentes and Candace, because Fuentes and Candace are a lot more hilarious in their destructiveness. So, there's that. But at the end of the day, Nick Fuentes has multiple times proven that he is not MAGA or America First. Multiple times. So I don't want to really necessarily hear it from him when this dude is Israel first. When you're Israel first, you're also not MAGA. So it's stuff like that that irritates me. These three suck. They hope to burn down MAGA and build a neo-pagan. I don't think they're building neo-pagan. I don't think they're pushing for pagan. Anti-Western. I don't think Candace and Fuentes or Tucker Carlson are pushing for anti-Western. I don't think that's the case. An anti-biblical movement. No, okay, so all three of those things I don't think are correct. Maybe with Candace on the biblical part. I don't know. I don't think so about Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. So I think he's just dead wrong here. You got to know your criticisms for these people in order to make... He's just making stuff up here. So Josh Hammer is going down really far on this. He says, the fox is now comfortably ensconced in the henhouse. And unless the fox is neutralized, the victim could be the entire extent of the GOP coalition itself. That doesn't... That's not a direct threat. That's not saying Tucker Carlson should be neutralized. That's not saying Nick Fuentes should be neutralized. What an incredibly left-wing thing for Tucker Carlson, or not Tucker Carlson, but for Nick Fuentes to come out and say. I think that's incredibly left-wing for you to be like, look, they're dog whistling. Really? That's dog whistling? The fox being the ideology of you guys. I would say the same thing about the left. The fox is comfortably ensconced in the henhouse, and unless the fox is neutralized, the victim could be the entire extent of the United States itself. Would anybody disagree with that if I said that about Antifa or the extreme left in general? I understand with what he's saying here is what he's talking about being neutralized. However, unfortunately, I think what he's saying right here is actually inaccurate. I don't think they're pro-pagan. I don't think they are anti-Western, and I don't think they're anti-biblical. I genuinely don't. And what I need is a Jewish guy to tell me who is anti-biblical and who isn't, right? It's pretty stupid. In reality, this is what I'm going to bring you guys to. These three people are garbage. Stop watching them. Nick Fuentes, Candace, and Josh Hammer. Seriously. If you're getting your information from any of those three people, you are being poorly misinformed right now. Again, I can't speak on Tucker Carlson. I haven't seen him go out there and make a lot of crazy, like, these people did this, these people did that, like Candace Owens is doing. And I don't see Nick Fuentes, going on out there, or I see Nick Fuentes going on out there and making wild claims all the time, especially about people's DNA. Does that often. And I also see him calling for people to go into the Capitol and take over. And not getting arrested at all? Just like Ray Epps? It's a little weird. It's a little strange. So, anyway, guys, I've shown the video multiple times. I don't have time to show it here today. If you guys are going to throw a fit about it, I'll link you the freaking video where Nick Fuentes is there with the bullhorn, calling for people to go into the Capitol and saying we are taking over the Capitol and all that other stuff. Crazy how Owen Schroyer was arrested for telling people not to go into the Capitol. What's going on with that? That's what's weird. Anyway, guys, tell me what you all think down in the comment section below. I'm going to go get my $7,000. I'll see you guys here in the next one. Also, I'm live streaming today at like 4 or 5 p.m. Central Time, so there's that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.